What's up guys, welcome back to CS2 Daily. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we've got the Esports World Cup semi-finals to go over. Aurora take down Falcons to book their spot in the grand final. Major drops one of the most passionate interviews you'll ever hear, and the Mongols do it again, beating Vitality for the second time in 2 weeks to set up an insane grand final matchup. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. Well, the Mongols have done it again. Back-to-back wins over Vitality, and they're heading to the Esports World Cup Grand Final. The Ulster Major champs dominated the first half of the year, but post-summer break they're slipping, and Blitz's squad has been their kryptonite. We start on Mirage. Mongols comfort pick, and Vitality made some uncharacteristic errors right out of the gate. Blitz double entry had them up 7-1 before ZywOo started dragging his team back with a couple of triples. Even with Messi chiming in and Vitality could barely keep it close, they stole the second pistol, but it didn't matter. ZywOo and 910 with Deagle magic completely flipped the momentum, and the Mongols closed it 13-8. We head over to Dust 2, and Dust 2 looked like it was going Vitality's way. Rops kicked things off with a pistol ace, followed by a 1v2 clutch, and suddenly they were steamrolling. The Mongols did fight back near the end of the half, but Apex pulled off a miracle, 2 mag 7 kills in a half buy that turned the map around. That gave Vitality the edge they needed, and they tied the series 1-1. But then came Nuke, and Techno absolutely unleashed one of the best maps of his entire career. The Mongols stomped out to a 9-0 lead, Vitality looked lost, and Techno was everywhere with 27 kills, 148 ADR, and a 2.09 rating. Vitality tried to hang on with some heroics from ZywOo and Rops, but every time it looked possible, Techno or 910 slammed the door shut. Final score 13-7. The Mongols take the series 2-1, and they're into another grand final. This is a massive storyline. The Mongols have now beaten Vitality twice in 2 weeks, the only team to do it in 2025, and it also is raising a lot of concerns for Vitality. What is going on with the squads? I mean, they are just in such a slump right now. Do they break out of the slump, or do they just split up? That is the actual question. Really interested to see what you guys think in the comments below. Me personally, I think if it keeps going like this, they need to just blow it up. Simple as that. But also huge props to the Mongols. They are really showing their true form and riding this momentum into the grand finals. And then we had Aurora versus Falcons, and this one shut me up. I did say in the last video that I think Falcons are going to take the whole thing, and I was proven wrong by the Turks. Aurora are through to the Esports World Cup Grand Final, taking down Falcons 2-0 and booking their spot against the Mongols tomorrow. We kick things off on Inferno, Aurora's pick, and they wasted no time showing who was in control. XANTARES and woxic were on fire, tearing through Falcons setups with multi-kills left and right. Even when Falcons got into man advantage situations, they couldn't close, and Aurora stomped to a dominant 9-3 half. They cleaned up the pistol after the switch, hit map point instantly, and closed it 13-6 without breaking a sweat. On train, Falcons tried to bounce back, and early on it looked promising. Jota pulled off a ridiculous 1v4 clutch to get Aurora rolling, but Kixon and the Falcons crew rallied it back to a close 7-5 scoreline at the half. The second half, though, was scrappy. Falcons grabbed a pistol to take the lead, but Major stepped up with a clutch of his own, and once Aurora stabilised their economy, the Turks never looked back. XANTARES dropped 41 kills across the series. Falcon was stuck on poor buys in the closing rounds, and Aurora sealed it 13-11 to complete the 2-0. So Aurora are in their first grand final under this banner, and it's going to be against none other than the Mongols, a team they've been battling all year, and Falcons now drop to the third place decider against Vitality. But the story today is all about Aurora, and XANTARES in particular, who was absolutely unstoppable. A plus 17 and a 1.52 rating. Absolutely disgusting performance from him today, and I've got to give the props when the props are due. Right after that win, Aurora's IGL Major gave an emotional interview that really shows how much this moment means to him. He talked about how tough the season's been with XANTARES missing time, and how they basically had to rework their entire playbook twice this year. But now with XANTARES back and the team finding form, they're finally on the brink of something huge. Major was hyped up on stage, feeding off the Falcons crowd, even though most of them weren't rooting for Aurora. He said that kind of pressure can actually work against the home team, and he told his guys that the only way they were winning was as a unit and not as individuals. Then he dropped this line: "I will give everything in my body, my mind, every part of energy in my spirit," and that's really the mindset heading into tomorrow's grand final against the Mongols. He admitted they've also struggled against them before, but he knows how much they've progressed as a team this year, with all 5 Mongols players being dangerous and not just 1 or 2. Still, he promised no regrets. He's putting absolutely everything on the line for this shot at his first Tier 1 trophy. So we'll see if Aurora can get it done against the Mongols, which is going to be a really hard, tough matchup for them. I see Mongols winning it, but you never know. With Aurora's form, they could just upset and win the whole thing. So that sets us up for a great, crazy grand final tomorrow. The Mongols versus Aurora, 2 teams that have been on fire lately, and now only one can lift the trophy. I'll be covering it all here, so make sure you're subbed and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.